fans, and welcome to another episode of Screaming Titans, the vlog series from Silver Screams, where a bunch of girls scream about Attack on Titan.
I keep forgetting we named it that.
Do you need a minute?
No. I'm just very pleased to go past us.
Today we are talking about Attack on Titan episode 58, Attack Titan.
Roll credits.
Right? I was gonna make that joke later, but yeah, might as well. Roll credits.
Let's be real. We'll be making it later anyway.
True story. I'm Megan Salinas.
I'm Katie Cullen.
And before we get started, of course, really quickly, we want to let you guys know we are only discussing episode 58 of the anime. There will be no manga discussion in any way, shape, or form. So please keep manga spoilers out of the comments section. If you spoil anything, we're going to delete it.
Yeah, we're going to delete it and we're going to ban you.
Yeah.
And not even like those, I think I'm being clever spoilers, because there's always someone just as clever as you who then figures out the spoiler and goes, damn it, I just got spoiled. So, no.
Don't spoil. Don't be vague and cryptic. Don't try to be clever. Just no spoilers. If you're looking for a manga comparison, sadly, you're going to have to go elsewhere.
That way.
We appreciate your enthusiasm, but ultimately, we're just saying, please be courteous to us. Please be courteous to the other people in the comments section. We prefer not knowing what's coming because it makes this show a joy to watch.
Yeah.
So, guys, yeah. One more time, no spoilers. Please, please, please be cool. Don't be that guy.
Be kind.
Anyway, so that being said, oh boy, like
exposition dump part 2.
Yeah, somebody in our comment section in the last episode was like, this had like 8 minutes of episode and the rest of it was padding. And that's kind of how or not about the last episode, because that was a huge one, but the one before that, where it was Armin waking back up and then walking through the city and finding the basement.
Oh,
that was like 8 minutes of
an
episode is what they said. This one I kind of feel similar, where I feel like there wasn't a ton in this episode, but it was I understand the need to take time laying everything out in this one.
And there wasn't really a better place in the previous episode to leave off. It could have left off with them all being betrayed by Zeke. It could have left off with, but none of them were as strong as, guess who's a Titan? It me! Let me show you.
Want to see something cool? So, I don't know, what did you think of this one?
I liked that we got some answers. I don't think it was as strong an episode as last week, but really, that's a hard act to follow.
It really is.
We've had some incredible episodes this season, so sitting here going, well, this one wasn't quite as good. It's kind of like, it was an A-, so...
Well, here's the thing. The previous episode was a complete and total game changer.
Oh, yeah.
And Attack on Titan does this quite a bit. It pulls the rug out from under you, it flips the table, it punches you in the face, it kills a couple people, and then it gives you an episode or two to sort of like process everything that happens.
While you're lying on the floor amongst the flip table and the corpses and the pulled rug, it goes, so there's ice in the fridge, and tea in the cupboard, and washcloths in the drawer, so why don't you go ahead and clean yourself up and just kind of calm down for a little bit, okay? You can chill for a bit. I'll be back later. No, it's not that kind.
No, it's not.
It gives you the room for self-care, but it does not make you feel better.
No.
That's what it does. It beats the shit out of you and then goes, all right, if you want to take care of yourself, you can do this, this, and this. I'll be back later.
It's like it takes...
It's a shitty dom is what it is.
It's like it takes the manual for how the world works, beats you with it, and then when you're on the ground, throws the manual at you and goes, okay, you can read the manual now. I'll be back in a couple episodes once you figured it all out. And then you
now
open it
that
up.
I've literally thrown the book at you, here's the book.
Then you open it up and you're like, what do you mean I only have 13 years to live? This would have been nice to know 5 years ago.
So So, is Grisha Yeager a shitty dad, or...
We're rewatching Evangelion right now, and my knee-jerk reaction was to say, better than Gendo.
That bar is subterranean. That bar is 27 levels of armored plating below the surface of Tokyo. All right? That is an extremely low bar. The Gendo Ikari bar is at the Earth's core. The Grisha Yeager bar is slightly higher.
Yeah. Grisha Yeager bar is somewhere in the underground, where like the criminal element is.
Well, Grisha Yeager is the burning passion, self-absorbed, goal-oriented, doesn't really get that kids should, have priority. He doesn't really understand what it takes to raise a child. Sort of parent. Gendo Ikari is the actively abusive, neglectful parent. So,
I would say that was true of Grisha prior to all of this happening. Because in the last 2 episodes, we see a lot of Eren Yeager in his father.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
no, I'm not saying that...
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that he was this to both Zeke and Eren.
Yeah, more so to Zeke, for sure.
He's not a good parent. He is far more self-absorbed and goal-absorbed, especially goal-absorbed, in comparison to, raising a child. But, like I said, Gendo Ikari is outright abusive and neglectful, so fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Grisha Yeager is a better parent than Gendo Ikari. I'm glad that we've ranked the bottom of the barrel. Let's continue on.
They both get killed by giant things.
This is true!
Spoiler alert for Ava, I guess.
It's been too long since I've read Full Metal Alchemist to know where to throw Hohenheim in there, but I think he's a little bit above Grisha.
Both get killed by giant monsters. Oh, that's awesome.
That's what happens when you're a shitty parent with glasses in anime.
Anyway, neither here nor there.
But we have fun.
We do indeed.
I'm seeing like one of those t-shirts that's a fight poster and it's like shitty parenting, Gendo versus Grisha.
I should probably put I'll put a spoiler alert for Ava in the description since there are a lot of people watching it for the first time.
Yeah, one of my friends is actually. Watching her live blog, it is hysterical. She has no idea. She has context for some memes, but she has no idea. Which I'm sure is what people who have read the manga are saying about us watching these videos.
And so please tell me when she gets through it, you're just going to say, congratulations.
She's not going to stop, though. She's going to go straight through End of Ava as well. And it's have fun.
That's a journey. Anyway, this is the Attack on Titan relaunch.
That's a journey. And the sun is slightly warm.
Anyway, so Kruger, who we come to find out is actually named Eren Kruger, in his Berserker Titan form, basically is just taking time to kill all the witnesses, which we were talking about as there was a rookie in there. It's my first day.
Oh, he's the new guy. He's never gonna be an old guy.
No.
And also, I was only 20 years until retirement.
There were definitely a couple of folks there that definitely looked like they were getting close to retirement, where it's whoo. And keep in mind, these were Kruger's co-workers. People he worked with for many a year while he was undercover. So that was a thing that he did. But yeah, it's basically to establish, nobody can know what happened here.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucks though, because even though he killed everybody, the fact that nobody's coming back is a clear indicator
that something happened.
Something went wrong, which is what I'm wondering if that's them not coming back definitely prompted the Marleyan army or whatever into action in some way, shape, or form.
They were already going to do the program with, all right, we'll give you some Titan powers, we'll make your family citizens.
Yeah,
you only have 13 more years of them, so have fun.
I'm just wondering if that was okay, we need to expedite this timeline a little bit since something clearly happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a discussion for a different day. But so he basically this is the exposition heavy portion of the episode where basically he just kind of proceeds to do a lot of character development for him and for Grisha while laying out the rules. And so they have sort of a philosophical discussion about like,
my father's rebellion went nowhere. I was a coward and watched them die. I've still kind of felt like a coward this whole time. Now I'm doing something. Also, I'm about to die myself, so you need to pick this up and run with it.
13 years!
13 years. That's not a lot of time.
No, and we were having this discussion on camera.
The average life expectancy for the Scouting Corps is like 90 days from time of recruitment. So,
yeah, I was
if you're
say,
lucky.
it's certainly a lot longer than your average scout life expectancy. However...
And it's unlimited mulligan. Not unlimited, but many mulligans up until that 13th year rolls around.
We had this discussion off camera, was that like it's interesting because you could definitely look at it as like, oh no, I only have 13 years left to live. Or in the case of Armin, you could kind of look at it as like, no, I get 13 years more than I would have had. Because this saved my life. Yeah.
It saved Eren's life too.
Yeah, it definitely did. Although he was injected several years earlier, so would have been nice if the timing had worked out a little bit better in his favor.
But we also find out that if you're holding a founding titan and you don't pass on the power when you die, it randomly shows up in a newborn.
Real quick correction. The 9 titans aren't referred to as founding titans. It's just the one.
It's the founding titan and then those other guys.
Yeah. But yeah, if you possess, it's kind of like Ruby. We were saying that
they're maidens,
kind of. Where if the power doesn't get passed on when you die, it just kind of randomly finds someone. And as far as we know, it seems to be random unless there was a note that we missed or something.
But this also, it just sounds like it's born to some random kid as long as they're within the line. It makes me wonder, like, how has the Marleyan government kept these powers all these years? Because it's been at least 4 generations of titans. Because you put it in someone, they've only got 13 years left to live. If it gets passed on to someone else, you either have to find this person who, in the meantime, has the chance to, well, that person's never going to live past the age of 13. God damn.
Again, I'm sort of operating under the assumption that they got, as many of the titans that they had, and that they just did the exact same thing that the royal family did. It's like, okay, well, your time's almost up. Time to chain you up into our weird sex dungeon here and bring in the next volunteer.
All right, Vor dungeon time. Let's go.
Oh, it's so weird.
You called it a sex dungeon. I just added the appropriate.
Why is this show so weird?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's my assumption. Hey, it's the royal family that had the sex dungeon.
The Vor dungeon.
Why? It's so
You
gross.
insist on calling it the sex dungeon. I will give it the correct terminology.
So that's terrible.
We don't need any corrections in the chat about this.
Oh my god. Cut all of this. This is terrible.
No, keep it. It's hilarious.
Ew. Anyway, so yeah, I just sort of made the assumption. Again, this is a government that employs people like a guy that is totally okay seeing a little girl get ripped apart by dogs. Like, they're totally okay cutting the fingers off of their prisoners and then sending them off to live an eternity of an endless nightmare. These people have no scruples.
They've probably stolen more than one baby.
Oh, dear, yeah.
And like I said, children are easier to indoctrinate.
Hence, Bertolt and Reiner.
Who are still pretty young and got their titans when they were pretty young, probably 10 or 12.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we don't know how much time they have left. We don't know how much time Ymir has left.
Here's the kicker. We don't know how much time Zeke has left.
That is interesting. Because
when did he get injected or whatever, or eat someone? When did he become a Titan? When did he receive his powers? He is notably older than Reinhardt. It's been a very long day in Overwatch League is on right now. He's notably older than Reiner and older than Bertold will ever be. And
that's so mean.
I regret nothing. So, when did this happen? Was he the first one to get his? How close is he to his end? Does he know?
Does he know is an excellent question.
Because Ymir implied in her letter, I don't have much time left.
Yeah.
And we also don't know how long Ymir has had her Titan, presumably a little less time than Bertolt and Reiner have had theirs. So then my question becomes...
Yeah, a little less, you're right.
Because she ate one of the kids.
Yeah, and he already would have had the power,
Yeah. So then my question becomes, what's going on where she is? Is she about to be executed? Is she a prisoner? Is she, like, what is her deal right now? Because that comment of, I don't have long left to live, and my one regret was that I couldn't marry you, is kind of like, what's the situation with her?
I think, so, as we see, there's a connection that the royal family has when it comes to, because the big exposition thing that gets dumped is a little timey-wimey. It's the life and experience and memories of everybody who's, I don't know if it's every one
child
of the Eldians.
Yes. Yes.
It's
because all of the Eldians are children of Ymir. So every child of Ymir is connected in the great circle of life.
There's like sort of like the Final Fantasy-esque life stream where like, yeah, or I don't know, ley lines, whatever. There's some sort of the Force from Star Wars.
Big crazy ass family tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Force because that's one I get. That's one I understand.
It's a light side and a dark side that binds the universe together like duct tape.
It is present in everything, and so yeah, every subject of Ymir is connected via this Force, and everything converges. This entire, I guess, stream of consciousness and memories, and again, experiences. It all converges at the founding Titan, and
at
so
a single point.
Yep.
The coordinate.
Yup, which is why they were calling it the coordinate, and it's why the founding Titan can control other Titans and things like that.
Without the strings.
And so it's also kind of why Eren is now able to sort of tap into these memories that aren't his. And so what we see when Historia is reading the letter is it looks like she's getting glimpses into the future, a future where it looks like Ymir, it's grabbing stuff from Ymir's past, and it looks like it's grabbing stuff from the future too, where it looks like she's going to be executed.
Huh, I never pinged on any of the future stuff. Everything read is past to me.
I mean, there was a very similar crystal chamber like the royal family had.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, I don't know if that's the future for Ymir.
The Marlians want control of their Titan back.
They do.
Those motherfuckers. Hey, come back with us, it'll be fine. Well, shit. Bertolt and Reiner don't know shit.
Fine for a given relative level of fine.
Fine. Yeah, no, this is definitely brainwashed kids going, oh, you're like us, come back with us, it'll be good. And the government going, who is this wild card and why do they have one of our tools?
Well, and if she's close to that 13-year mark too.
She may or may not be. Again, I
know.
don't think she is.
No.
Not unless the boys are as well, and I don't think they are.
Either way, they want somebody they can actually control, as opposed
and Ymir is not that person.
No, I mean, she's more of the flip the devil bird. Bye! Go after yourself, society.
I think you're right. I think they're going to take her Titan. Goodness knows who they're going to give it to.
No, I have no idea. Probably somebody we haven't met yet. Or somebody we've only seen in passing. But yeah, I mean, I feel so bad for Bertolt and Reiner because, yeah, they're literally indoctrinated into believing this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those poor babies. Anyway.
It's fine, you just have to die. And keep in mind that they still have Annie on ice.
Yeah.
In ice, in crystal. She's there. Nothing has happened, so we haven't really said anything, but she's
Which
there.
is interesting, given that she's, you know, kind of put herself in timeout, because I don't know if she necessarily ever bought into their mission in the same way that they did.
But she also prevented herself from being eaten and her powers being stolen.
Exactly. So
who knows?
We'll
She's
see.
still very much an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
Yep, wrapped in a crystal. But yeah, so
Can you imagine trying to feed her to a Titan? Crunch, 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 crunch.
Oh,
It's like a dog with a popsicle.
gonna take forever. But yeah, so it's the fact that this cosmic-esque path exists, and that not only is it something that connects all of the subjects of Ymir, but it's something that members of the royal family can tap into. And Eren sort of kind of comes across this epiphany at like the worst possible time.
In the middle of a military tribunal.
Well, it's not a tribunal. They're literally just
a meeting.
Yeah, no one's on trial here for once. What a nice change of pace. Isn't that great? No one's on trial. No one's in trouble. No one's getting executed.
I mean, everyone's in trouble, but not directly right now.
Yeah.
There's still very much a war with a technologically advanced outside world brewing, but nobody's in trouble.
I'm just saying, it's a nice change of pace for it to, again, nobody's gonna get executed if, like, you know, Darius is in a bad mood. Because, like, the first time they were in a room together, it was literally deciding whether or not Eren was gonna live.
Yep.
So, cool. This, like I said, this is a nice change of pace, and yet the stakes are still really, really high, because, you know, Eren makes this realization of, like, oh, I was able to tap into the coordinates power. Why is that? It's because Dinah, I think is how you pronounce her name, or Dina?
Dinah.
Dinah.
Someone's in the kitchen with her.
And someone's in the kitchen, I know!
Thank you for picking up what
Strumming
I was
on that
putting down.
old banjo!
Fucking banjo, I swear to God.
But anyway, Fee-Fi Fiddly-I-O, yeah, so he comes to the conclusion that, like, oh, I was able to tap into that power because she was a Titan at the time.
And she had royal blood.
And that's when he kind of clams up, because he's like, oh shoot, like, I haven't told Armin and Mikasa yet about the fact that that Titan that killed my mom and Hana's was
the other woman.
Well,
Or I guess his mom was the other woman
Carla
now.
was the other woman.
I see you getting my man.
Jeez. Oh, man. Oh, now I'm sad. But, like, yeah, it was somebody his dad was married to, and then on top of that, he's like, if I just blurt out this connection that I've sort of stumbled across, who knows what the military will do to Historia, which I think is interesting, because it's like, she's friggin' queen, but it goes to show, like, hey, he's very much aware that the power dynamic here, you know, we killed one king already, like, what's, if I were to just blurt this out, what's to stop us from doing the exact same thing to the person who went out of her way to save my life at the cost of reuniting with her family? So, yeah, I thought that was an exceedingly sweet moment of him being like, what could happen to her if I just blurt this out?
See, I give it less than a week before Hanji figures out what the hell is going on with him. And the only reason they haven't figured it out yet is because no one has given them context.
No.
But seriously, he's you know, as Eren, you're so weird, Eren. Talking to himself, Hanji's trying to figure it out. So then when he has this moment in the middle of the meeting, Hanji just, you know, he's going through a phase where he blurts out stuff, and you can tell that Hanji's just kind of like, I'm a cover for you this time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need that information.
I love that look they give him. Just like, I see.
I've got you this time, but we're gonna have a conversation about what this was.
Yeah.
And between Levi, Hanji, and Armin, the second Eren lays out, I was touching a Titan with royal blood and I was able to use the coordinate, but I'm worried they'd turn Historia into a Titan. One of them or all of them are going to be like, you're the Titan in the equation, put her on your shoulder, you idiots.
That's what because like, he comes to that conclusion and he makes the assumption that the military would turn her into a Titan. I'm sitting here going, yeah, no, or she just rides atop your shoulders and then the two of you ride to victory.
Like, the components here are human, Titan, coordinate. You can provide both Titan and royal blood. So you can provide Titan and coordinate. She can provide royal blood. In this other aspect, it was you providing coordinate and the smiling Titan providing Titan and royal blood. So there's multiple ways to put this combination together. And if the first conclusion that anyone else comes to is they're going to turn Historia into a Titan, they're fucking stupid. We know that Eren is worried, exhausted, and going through a lot right now. I will cut him a lot of slack for that. I will cut him a lot of slack for that. But there's no way in hell that the two smartest human beings in the room aren't going to be like, so what if we did it this way instead?
In his defense, a lot of this entire series can be summed up with everything you know is wrong.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
everything you used to think was so important doesn't really matter anymore because the simple fact remains that everything you know is wrong.
Was that not this episode?
It kind of was.
Everything he's come to know is wrong. And even though they have these journals, to be fair, I don't think he had... To be fair, he might not have all of the pieces of that puzzle, so he's actually probably right to be cautious. Again, better not just to blurt it out, it's better to think and run it through the workshop of Hanji and Armin, and
also,
then
please,
come to a conclusion.
Please, for the love of God, tell me somebody made copies of those journals.
Right? Oh my God.
It's like, these are the only ones, and they're sitting here in front of the government, and I'm sitting here going, make copies, make copies, make copies, for the love of all that is holy and most does not make copies!
Yeah, and now everybody who's in charge now knows basically that the world is kind of out to get them. Which I think is interesting, because again, we don't know if it's the world or just the Marleyan Empire, which might not encompass the entire planet. It might just be a continent. It's hard to say.
Honestly, the Marleyan Empire is threat enough right now.
Yeah.
Given that they are actively infiltrating.
Yeah.
And doing some murders.
Yeah.
At least we've got a little more information, and we have the coordinate and someone who can use it if they're touching someone with royal blood. You beautiful idiot!
Something, again,
Eren.
that they might not necessarily might not be of immediate assistance to them, but the whole reason why the Marleyan government is after them in the first place is because they're sitting on a gold mine. So if
fossil fuels.
Yeah, if they can figure out a way to like tap into the technological advances that the Marleyans have, maybe they could use some of those resources. Like coffee.
Like coffee. Because that's the only technological advance from the Marleyans that's actually made it over the wall.
I mean, those books indicate zeppelins and tanks and things like that.
All sorts of shit.
All sorts of things. I'm just saying that, like, maybe if Mr. Yeager had drawn a few designs, they could do something. Again, like I said, this is not something at their immediate disposal. This would be, like, maybe after a time skip or something. But Hanji's smart. They'd know what to do. Anyway, neither here nor there.
I believe in Hanji.
I believe in Hanji.
I think that's about it. We've got just about everything.
That's kind of about it. There are a few other, like, kind of tiny little character beats that I do want to point out. One, of course, is Eren and Mikasa being in jail, and, like, they let them out. And it's just a cute, fun little moment of Hanji being like, oh, what is this? Eren's going through a phase. And that's when we get our roll credits moment.
Yes. What's the name of your Titan? Attack on Titan.
Shingeki no
Kyoji.
Roll
credits.
Laugh
And then
laugh
Hanji
and laugh.
imitating him with like the hand gesture and the lowering the voice and everything. Just like,
Oh,
I love you.
so good.
Hanji's my favorite.
They're the best.
They are the best.
But yeah, so, and then like that whole running joke of like, he's just going through a phase was pretty funny too. I think that it's funny when the show itself acknowledges that Eren's a teenager and going through puberty and all that stuff. I think it's really funny when the show acknowledges that, given that that was like a huge crux of A Bridge on Titan. It was a huge like aspect of his character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, they're all teenagers.
Exactly. I will say that, you know, pointing out how badly I feel for Mikasa, knowing that her two best friends in the world who she would literally kill for
have a time limit.
Have a time limit, and like Eren seems to be taking he's taking a lot of this very hard, but I think he's taking it better than she is.
Yeah, I mean, she can't do anything about it.
No.
This is known. This is inevitable. This is...
Yeah.
Well. So she's just kind of like, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. We'll find a way around it. No, honey. No, you won't.
I am inevitable. I am the attack titan.
There, yeah, okay.
That was stupid.
That
was a stupid joke. That was a stupid joke.
Yeah, it's sucks for her.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
it really does.
I know that you've been through everything with them, but make more friends?
Well, it's tough because like they're her family.
Yeah.
And as we saw, she was willing to attack her literal family if it meant keeping Armin alive. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's kind of hard to deal with. And even though they saved Armin's life, ultimately they're the ones that made this decision to like, or pushed for this decision, that has given him an expiration date. And when you do that...
Admittedly, his expiration date was, let's take on the Colossal Titan. So...
Again...
he got an extension.
No. And again, it is 13 years more than he would have had. But, like, when you find that out, you can't help but wonder, well, was there another way? Was there something else we could have done? Was there something else... Was there some way things could have been different?
The level of medical technology here...
No. And so that's why she's like, it has to be a mistake. This can't be right. Like, there's no way that can be true. And I do want to bring up that I love there being a time limit.
Yeah.
I love the fact that is an element that has been brought into the equation, because after Reiner's head blew off and it still didn't kill him, I was starting to think, I was like, okay.
He's a girl brother. Fuck me.
Okay. That's cheating.
I do appreciate that it was kind of Ymir going, 2 OP, please nerf.
That it was Ymir going? You mean Ymir like the
yeah.
goddess? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Ymir like our Ymir. And I was like, what are you talking about?
OG Ymir.
OG Ymir.
2 OP, please nerf.
Please nerf.
So it's like, alright, time limit. Cool.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because, you've basically made these people virtually invincible by doing this, and so it's nice to show the ramifications of that, and physical deterioration, I think, is a great way of exemplifying that.
I will say virtually invincible. Reiner also only survived the head-splody incident because of some very quick thinking and action on his part.
Because of some bullshit!
Had he been a moment slower, there would be
there would be a baby that had the armor.
I was trying to come up with the right nationality, and my brain went Eldian. Thank you. My brain went Elysian, and that is incorrect.
You called them Marleyans, Merlutians earlier today.
Off camera, mind you, but nonetheless. So many fantasy names across multiple different canons. Sometimes you just kind of give up. But yeah, no, there would have been an Eldian baby with armor. Like, Woo!
Ooh, yeah, that wouldn't have been great.
It's like, Reiner should not have survived the day, and yet it was
Again,
Bertolt who fucking died.
Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that Reiner's still kicking, but I'm still like, that's okay. You know what, I'll roll with it.
Too OP, please nerf.
Please nerf. So, you know, the fact that he could survive something like that, it's nice to see, again, actions have consequences, that it's not just he's invincible and as long as he can see a little bit ahead, like, he'll be invincible no matter what. That's not the case.
He does have, and admittedly, the please nerf is you have an expiration date. And also not being able to shift while injured.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's still just kind of like, those are some very specific nerfs.
Yeah. As far as other stuff, character-wise, I think the stuff we got with Grisha and Eren Kruger was really interesting. You know, it's a lot about like the nature of good and evil, and anybody can become good or bad. You know, it just depends on
History's written by the victors.
Mm-hmm. And it depends on what you choose to believe in. That determines, you know, the type of person that you become.
I think that's her third lap. The
She's
cat's
okay.
running up and down the stairs. I don't know. She's a cat. She's a cat. I don't know.
And I liked the because we're seeing very similar arc that Grisha's undergone that we're kind of seeing with Eren. It starts off with this fire intent on revenge and bloodlust and retribution.
Hatred.
And
Hating everything.
then when you ultimately lose the things that you love in pursuit of that revenge, like you come to realize like, oh, and then like there's this deep-seated melancholy that follows.
It burns out and all you have left is ashes.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of that with Eren in the first part of the season and the second part of the season. You know, he's been in a character going through a lot of emotions throughout all of season 3, and I've liked that. And so we definitely see that, and also kind of the emptiness of revenge too, because they're looking at the corpse of the man who killed Grisha's sister, and he's like, yeah, no, that wasn't great. That was awful. That was awful.
So the tail end of that conversation, because I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
And we go back to, we end the episode with Grisha and Eren Kruger talking. And Eren Kruger is basically telling Grisha, you need to go in the walls, you need to make friends, you need to have a family, you need to make connections, and then says it's the only way that you'll be able to save Mikasa and Armin. Who are they?
Oh.
You know what? That's a really good question. And so this makes me wonder, was this something that was meant for Eren? Was this one of those weird reaching across time things? Is this advice that Eren is going to need in the future?
Yeah.
Who knows? I feel like we have some
Memories
foreshadowing
for us.
here, but we can't see.
Yeah. It's again, we were talking earlier about how like, okay, now that like once this season is done, definitely want to go back and rewatch like all of season 1 with the context that we now have.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be the same thing, is that once we get some more answers down the road, this season is going to be very interesting to go back and rewatch, for sure.
But even like words. Was thinking
Just
about
in terms
this.
of like foreshadowing bits.
But like our first bit with Zeke, with the Beast Titan, it's this, oh, you can talk. Oh, that's interesting. Like, what the fuck are they telling them about the people inside the walls?
Probably some
The fact that he was so surprised that this other human being is capable of speech.
Like, we're speaking the same language, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Just, oh, you can talk. Oh, look at this weird little device.
How clever! How clever!
It
explains. It really does explain a lot of like the condescension. Ugh. Just gross. But yeah,
He's a problem.
he's a problem. And again, We don't know how much time he has left. We don't know if he knows how much time he has left. I think the assumption is that they probably know, given that, like...
They've held on to these Titan powers for 80 some odd years.
Yeah, I would assume that they know, but still, I mean, it's hard to say.
You never know.
I mean, given...
Honestly, the government probably knows, but they might not have told the people they recruited, because it's like, hey, you're not gonna live past your 20s. Like, they wouldn't tell them, and they definitely wouldn't let the parents know, because the parents would never allow their kids to do it if they knew there was an expiration date on their child's life.
I don't know about that.
Well, some might, but we've established that there are some bad parents.
They've beaten people down to, like... I mean, again, like, looking... A little girl was murdered.
True.
And her murderer looked her parents in the eyes and went, "You should do a better job." And the dad thanked him. So, honestly, I feel like they can do whatever they want. And people just sort of have to go along with it.
Well, again, they were asking for volunteers. I don't think they would have made it public knowledge that, yeah, your child's going to volunteer and this is going to put a hard cap on their lifespan.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have told that, because there would have been some parents just not letting their kids do that.
True, but also if you don't get enough volunteers, you volunteer some people.
Well, yeah.
So
but I mean, just in general, you make fewer ways. It's a catching more flies with honey sort of thing, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't think they made that information public.
Public, no.
And I don't think that the people who were recruited know. Zeke might. I doubt that anybody else does.
Honestly, I disagree to an extent, because Reiner and Bertolt were so fanatical that I feel like they were indoctrinated to a point where they're like, yeah, our lives will expire and that will have been our time and we were happy to serve. It really depends. I don't know. It's no matter what, it's fucked up. Whether they choose to be forthcoming or not, it's fucked up.
I'm going to say, because if it's not, and then that becomes one of those, yeah, you only have X amount of years left to live.
Then that could be like
no.
That could be like I'm playing for the wrong team, or, oh, they kept this from me. Mm-hmm. That there are going to be consequences for that.
I'd be surprised if Zeke didn't know. Just because it's fucking Zeke.
Yeah.
And also, if Zeke gets the coordinate, game over, man.
Yeah.
That's all the pieces.
Yeah, because Titan power, royal family,
and
coordinate. Yeah, that's bad.
Yep.
Although, it'd be interesting to know whether or not the founding Titan's will would override Zeke's own personality.
This is true.
So, I don't know.
It might.
This is a weird show. Because, yeah, we saw that.
And the sun is slightly warm.
Yeah, exactly. The only other thing I want to bring up is just how much I adore seeing our scouts interact off of each other. Getting to
we get that little teeny bit of Sasha with an apple.
Yeah. Oh, she's alive and she's okay.
So here's a fun thing, and it's a language pun. It's a French language pun, so go figure. Apples are called pommes, and a potato is a pomme de terre, an apple of the earth.
Aww.
So she's just eating a tree potato.
I'm tired of being defined by that one potato. I like to eat lots of things. That's adorable, though.
Tree potato.
That's hilarious.
Tree potato.
I like that. I like getting to see Historia read the letter and talking about, like, localization choices for Evangelion. It was so nice to see it referred to explicitly as a love letter, and there's no ambiguity.
My regret is that I couldn't marry you, because I'm gonna fucking die soon.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
And then she has that slight drug trip with...
What was on the back of this? Was it laced with LSD? Letter? Did Ymir sprinkle some LSD into this love letter? But like...
No, that's the royal family and you having that
Everything's connected. But yeah, I liked getting to see her miss Ymir and get all misty-eyed, and it's nice seeing her interact with our main trio, and she's like, guys, just treat me like Historia, it's fine, it's cool to see you all acting normal.
Like, no, it just hasn't sunk in yet. We're severely traumatized. Fucking cool!
Well, and again, like, she's super hard on herself, and it, like, just, she always has been, and it's just nice to see them again, just be like, no,
You're fine.
you're good.
We love you.
You're good. You're good, girl. So the whole love letter scene was super nice. And it's just nice to see Ymir again. After having been absent
Making
for a
fun
while.
of Reiner when she knows he's reading it.
Gosh.
He's such a creep. That's why he's single.
That was so funny. Like, again,
Also, he was hitting on a lesbian in a committed relationship, but maybe don't do that.
to be fair, they weren't really in a relationship at that moment.
This is true.
Gotta marry her.
Marry that girl someday. No, you're not.
Everyone wanted to marry Krista when she was still pretending to be Krista.
And nobody realized. They're like, yeah, it's marrying up. Nobody just realized how far.
It is funny, everybody looking at her going like, she's a princess, she's a goddess, she's an angel.
Oh fuck, she's the queen.
Oh man.
Everyone's just like,
Hi girl, hi.
She like.
So again, it's just nice to see that there, and it's just nice seeing Historia, since like the first half of this season was focused on her, and she's
Was
taken
the
a
history of Historia.
Yeah, and she's taken a back seat ever since ever since like she became queen. Which is fine.
Look,
you know,
in this show, people in the backseat are usually safe.
usually safe. Which again, it's totally fine because like she got a lot of development during that time, so it's okay to let other characters step in, and so there's only so much screen time for everybody. I get
But
it.
she's just, I feel so bad that I wasn't with you. Your job is to live.
I'm just saying that because
We are running out of royal blood.
Yeah. Well, it's just nice to see all these characters interacting with one another
Yeah.
again. Even just Ymir giving Reiner shit. I was like, that made me nostalgic for when she could give Reiner shit. You know? So anyway, that's just me. Any final thoughts for you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Yeah, just a lot to process. And I think next episode is also probably just going to be a process.
Transitory episode.
Yeah. Which, I don't know how many episodes we have left for this season.
I assume 3, maybe 4.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah.
Alright, well, on that note, Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Reaction videos live on that YouTube channel, and I am also part of a podcast called On the Point. It is an Overwatch and Overwatch League podcast. We just recapped the first 3 weeks of season 2, stage 1 through 3, because we just came back from vacation. But it's been a good time, and boy, do we have a lot about to say. I give up. I'm tired. Boy, do we have a lot to say about it.
It's late. So yeah, I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I also do a Lost retrospective podcast called No Love Lost. My co-host Will Link loves Lost, and I don't. We talk about it. We are both also on a podcast channel called Rooster Team Radio, where we talk about all things Rooster Teeth. Camp Counselor's Corner is what's going on right now, and it's a ton of fun. If you're a Rooster Teeth fan, go check it out.
You should watch Camp. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
Do it.
And of course, we want to know what you guys thought about this episode. Where do you guys think the show is going to go from here?
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. Be sure to follow Silver Screams at Silver_Screams. Like us on Facebook, all that jazz.
I want to know what you think the unnamed Titans are. Most of them have names, but we've still got like 2 that don't have names. So, what are their names? What do they do? Give me your ridiculous Titan OCs. No, seriously. Why the fuck not? Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have any other questions for you guys, so just...
Titan OCs it is!
Yeah. Tell us who your Attack on Titan fanfic characters are. Please, please, please do. All right.
Tell
Well,
us more about potatoes and language puns.
yes, I want to hear more about
Tree
these
potatoes.
Tree potatoes. Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next time.
Tree potatoes.
Tree potato. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. That was stupid.
That was great.